Welcome back to Elite Speak with another AEW Dynamite review for April 28th, 2021. And this was a doozy of a go-home show for Blood and Guts, which premieres next week, May 5th on TNT. And it is shaping up to be a good show. Let's just hope it all delivers, and it will be live. This was a taped episode. And we kicked off the night with a nice, solid opener. And Hangman Adam Page, he opened again versus Brian Cage of Team Taz. Page gets jumped by Team Taz before the match even starts. And now Page has to fight from behind. A brawl starts to open the show, pretty much, with this. Cage wins it surprisingly with a drill claw to Hangman Page. Page barely got in the offense end. I mean, he did most of his signatures, the Arihara moonsault. He didn't get to hit the buckshot lariat or the Deadeye, but he still looked good in this defeat. But to many of our surprise, Brian Cage picks up the win, and therefore he, by defeating the number one ranked Adam Page, this ranks Brian Cage automatically, so he most likely will be next in line to challenge Kenny Omega. But we shall see how they go about that, because Brian Cage is still a heel with Team Taz, but he hasn't shown any sign of falling out the group since the teases a few weeks back. We'll see where they go with that. We followed that up with the Elite in a limo segment. Omega says he's not afraid. And then not long after that, Michael Nakazawa hits the wrong button and sounds a horn, which makes everyone inside the limousine jump. They were having flashbacks to Moxley and Eddie Kingston from last week when they attacked their tour bus with a bat. Following this up, we had the Sydal brothers taking on the Young Bucks, the AEW World Tag Team Champions. And this was a no-doubter, though it was a good match. The Bucks defeat the Sydals with a BTE trigger, and they healed it up immensely in this match. Post-match, SCU confronts the Bucks. Cass says if Max has something to say, it's a good thing for him to keep it to himself. SCU basically challenged the Bucks to a title match, but to many people's dismay, the SCU are in a match to determine the next challengers the following week, next week at Blood and Guts. So if they are next in line and challenged, why are they in a match to determine the next challengers the following week? That just tells us right there that SCU is going to win that match. And if they win that match and they face the Bucks, SCU are not beating the Bucks. SCU, you might as well call SCU broken up at that point, because when they lose, they are finished. That is a stipulation that they put on themselves, and they will pay the price when they face the Bucks, because the Bucks will be the team to retire SCU from action. We follow that up with a Jade Cargill segment. Jay says everyone wants a cut of the pie. She says she's her own boss. They better impress her, because she's that bitch. So Jade apparently knows that people are seeking for the role of managing her. I personally say Jade does not need a manager. She can do fine on her own. Her promos will get better the more time she uses that mic. They just got to keep giving it to her. I don't think she needs a manager. And let's just hope it's not Vicky. We followed that up with Orange Cassidy taking on Penta El Zero Miedo in a first time ever match. And this was a good match. Probably one of the better matches of the night. Orange Cassidy wins via a mic shot with an orange punch assisted from Trent. Orange kind of used a heel tactic here, but it was like an eye for an eye sort of deal. Like, Alex Abrahantes wanted to cheat for Penta. Well, two can play that game. So Orange took a page out of his book, beat him at their own game. I was kind of hoping Pentagon would win this, I don't think Orange Cassidy would lose much with a loss, but he picks up the win. He remains, I believe, undefeated in 2021 so far. Pentagon takes the loss. I don't think he'll get hurt by a loss, but it would be nice to see him get some momentum. Same with Phoenix as well. We followed that up with a Britt Baker segment. She says she's now at the top of the rankings after doing what she said she'd do, and that is get wins on Dark and Elevation. It's time to remind everyone why she's the face of the division. And that pretty much says it all right there. She is next in line to challenge Hikaru Shida, and that will happen at Double or Nothing, in my opinion. And Britt Baker is your new future AEW Women's World Champion. And then that opens up all sorts of possibilities in regards to challengers. And since she can work the mic, it should be entertaining if they let her do her thing. They could really have something if they let her loose on these baby faces that are going to challenge. And she could pretty much elevate them as well. She doesn't even have to do it with her in-ring stuff. She can do it via her mic work. So that should be good stuff. Tony Schiavone. We have a segment that features Tony Schiavone interviewing the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle in a parlay. And this was possibly the best segment of the night. 5 men. There's going to be a 5-minute period of one-on-one action, and then every other minute, a member from each team will come out. Tony says there would be a coin toss to determine the advantage, but Spears slaps the mic out of Tony's hand and the coin. He said there will be no coin toss. And basically, each member of Inner Circle and the Pinnacle buries the other. They threw some truth bombs out on one another. This was a great segment. Everyone did their thing, and I mean everyone. And that includes Wardlow and Jake Hager, who said nothing, but they played their roles by staring each other down. Good stuff. I can't do this justice. You just have to go and watch it. Good stuff all around. We followed it up with Eddie Kingston facing Michael Nakazawa in an unsanctioned match. Eddie backfist Michael Nakazawa. As a result, it didn't last long. And Eddie Kingston pretty much didn't care for this sports entertainment crap. Omega doesn't care if Nakazawa gets his leg broken. Because Kingston threatened to break his leg after that backfist in order to get a match with Omega and Nak in a tag match. Mox then attacks Omega from behind. He puts him to sleep and threatens to break his leg with a chair, and Don Callis caves as a result because Eddie wanted a match with Omega in a tag with Mox, and Kingston wanted a match with Omega and Naka, so they all got what they wanted as a result. So the following week we will have Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley going up against Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa. That should be something. I'm wondering, let's not turn Omega into a comedy champion. He can get serious. We need to keep him serious. I hope that's not where this is going. We followed that up with Tony Schiavone and Taz backstage. Taz said Team Taz is number one after Cage defeated Adam Page. Christian then comes into frame. Christian says he talks a big game but doesn't back it up these days. He's talking about Taz there. Sooner or later they'll be better without Taz, he says in closing as he walks out of the frame. Then follow that up with Penelope Ford going up against Chris Statlander. And this was a pretty good match as well. Immediately Chris Stat shows her strength, gorilla pressing Ford. As we went to break, Ford was getting the upper hand on Stat. We came back from break. Eventually Chris Stat defeats Penelope Ford via a Big Bang Theory while distractions were occurring on the outside of the ring. Good match. They're slowly building Chris Stat back up, getting her wins because she's bound to be the next challenger for the title once Britt Baker wins it at Double or Nothing. We followed that up with the Nightmare Family versus The Factory. The match opens with a brawl to start. The Factory wins via help from Anthony Ogogo with a gut punch to Lee Johnson and Billy Gunn on the outside. QT pinned Billy Gunn as a result of this. As QT hightails it, Cody was waiting for him in his Nightmare Family bus that they arrived in, oddly enough. They then brawl to the top of the bus. Cody hits his figure four while they are both on top of this bus. I was wondering why was he hitting the figure four on top, even though it made it for a good visual. Even Aubrey Edwards was up there, but she had no power in the matter because it was not a match. So this was interesting. Following this up, we had Kip Sabian visiting Miro backstage. He's saying everything is fine, but it indeed was not fine. Just as many of us predicted, Miro beats the crap out of Kip. Miro said that no one is going to stop him. After shutting Kip's arm in a door, Miro says he forgives Kip. This is an abusive relationship if I ever saw one. So everything is fine now. Let's hope this thing is over and he does not continue teaming with Kip. And we move Miro on to being the beast that he can be and that he showed in this segment. Good stuff. And then we had the main event. 10 going up against the TNT champion Darby Allin, and this was a good match. Back to back weeks of Darby main eventing Dynamite with the TNT title. Good stuff. Each match was good. Even 10, he brought out 10's talent. 10 shined in this match. Darby attempts anything he could to win, and he did. Darby wins via a roll-up out of 10's full Nelson attempt. Post-match, they showed good sportsmanship as Darby shows the Brody armband that he took off of 10's arm to honor the fallen Brody Lee. Then, following this, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky take out both Darby and Sting after the Dark Order leaves ringside. And this is what we saw as Dynamite went off the air. So it seems like we're moving ahead with Darby, Sting, Scorpio Sky, and Ethan Page. So that's a feud that we're probably going to see the weeks to come. So hopefully it's going to be good stuff because everyone involved can do their thing. All in all, I thought this was a good episode of Dynamite. They appear to be on fire as we race towards Blood and Guts and Double or Nothing. So we got some good momentum heading into those shows. Let's hope it continues next week with the Blood and Guts show. And I'd like to thank you all for listening and watching, and stay tuned for another review of AEW Dynamite. Take care.